is for all people to protect against. I want to make clear.
I never said that.
I want to make clear. That's why I said I want to make clear. I'm asking.
No,
what do you believe the Second Amendment is for then?
I think the Second Amendment was written at a time when we were worried about being attacked by other major nations. We were a brand new nation starting out. We didn't have a lot to defend ourselves. And the Second Amendment was written so that everybody had a weapon in case England came back, in case Spain tried to invade us. That's why it was written.
So it wasn't written, so there would be no proof of the Founding Fathers admitting that even they themselves could become tyrannical, and it was written to protect the people from even them, like George Washington.
Who's doing hypotheticals now?
No, I'm saying these are actual quotes. I have them up at louderwithcrowder.com.
Okay, let me finish. Are you denying? I'm not going to interrupt you anymore.
Okay, then let me finish. Yeah, these are actual quotes from the Founding Fathers. They said, of course, it is for the entire people, and no government will disarm its own people. The people have the right to protect themselves against even us, the government. These are quotes from George Washington, George Mason, Thomas Jefferson, Madison.
Right.
So they made sure it wasn't, well, you just said about England. It was about the United States government as well. No, George Washington is a fascinating character.
You said it was about England, and I said, do you think England can attack us?
You said it was written because they thought of outside threats. Spain, England. I said, no, it was written, and they specifically wrote that it was also for domestic threats, including themselves.
So your only defense on 32,000 Americans dead is the Second Amendment and something that was written 200 years ago. No, I'm asking, because that's all you're saying. So you're going to
I've said that I don't believe that your proposal would decrease gun crime, and you just lied about the Second Amendment.
No, I did not lie about it. I did not.
You said it was written in a time for outside threats in Spain and England, and I just gave you examples of how it was written for domestic tyranny, including by George Washington, Jefferson, Madison, Mason, Adams. They said it could be us. That's why you all need to be armed. So it wasn't written for foreign entities. It was written for the United States.
Yes, but it wasn't originally. No, actually wasn't. It was actually for a tyrannical government like England.
No.
Do you think we have a tyrannical government?
No, it didn't say like England. Just like you said, what does it say?
Do you think we have a tyrannical government?
No, again, we've already answered that question. Could it be potentially? Absolutely. Any government can become tyrannical. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, this argument, by the way, it would have to be our military would have to take our guns. Ain't going to happen. Civilian military families wouldn't happen.
And why do you think it wouldn't happen?
And let's say if they were tyrannical,
why do you think it wouldn't happen?
Because I know the military families. I've actually went to Iraq twice, and I will tell you one thing: there's not a chance.
It's not an argument.
Oh, it is an argument. I have a colonel. I have actually.
The reason they can't is because of an entirely armed populace. That's why they can't take away everyone's guns.
So you're saying that our military, if we weren't armed, would turn on us? Okay, got it.
No.
So moving. Well, that's what you just said. You didn't say it, but you're alluding to that.
Well,
you're alluding to that. But okay, let me finish. So
no, hold on a second. Didn't you just talk about former military who shot 5 in Dallas?
My father-in-law was an Army colonel and did security.
You're talking about former military shot someone in Dallas. So there are some people who would be willing to do it, right? Not all, but some.
Shot cops. Oh, are you bringing up a psychopath that actually? Are you bringing up a psychopath that
my point is he was former military.
Are you comparing our military to a psychopath?
The reason,
got PTSD and a psychopath?
I didn't say that. You said because you used a personal example saying you've no military. Listen, I've entertained the troops as well. I've gone over to Guantanamo Bay. I've done the tours.
Shooter in Dallas. What a psychopath. Are you serious? Is that the first time I bring up military? So you're comparing all our military plus my kind of who?
No, I'm not.
Who's the bombs?
No, I'm not.
Then why would you bring that up first?
Because you said, I know people who wouldn't do it. I know people who would.
Not one of our military would do it. He wasn't in the military. He had PTSD.
The reason there is no possibility of that is because of the Second Amendment.
It's amazing how hard you have to backpedal to fight your argument. But let me finish this.
What backpedal? I didn't backpedal anything.
Clear something. I want to be clear something. We can agree on something. I believe Americans should have guns. I believe it's in our DNA. I believe it goes back to the beginning of our country. And I believe to get rid of them not only would be untenable, but impossible. So here's what I'll say. So we put together a gun registry. Everybody has guns.
Yeah, I'm already against it, but go.
I got it. I know I got it. But here's the thing. 32,000 Americans dead. What are you willing to do to keep your guns and stop that?
What are you? Yeah, okay. I'm willing to do.
Let me finish. Please let me finish.
Well, I thought you just asked me a question. That's why I didn't mean to interrupt. You asked a question. Go ahead.
So here's what I'm saying. We get to stop the 32,000 dead and to stop crazy people from getting guns, like my mother, like the guy in Dallas, like Jared Loughner, like all these people. We have some serious common sense gun rules in place. Number one, federal registry. I know you don't like it, but whatever. I got it. That's what I'm pitching.
Well, it's not common sense. That's the point. You can't say it's common sense if there's a valid argument against it. Go ahead.
No, it is common sense.
Nope.
100%. Deadly weapons should be registered. Cars are registered. Everyone brings up the gun argument. Cars are registered.
Cars not a constitutional right, and a car actually is far more dangerous than a gun, and actually is more dangerous actively. You cannot have a gun and use it. You cannot have a car and use it passively. I can have a gun at my hip, to use your term, and to use your example, if I do have a gun in the studio, and it's passive. It is a threat to no one. I cannot drive from point A to point B without putting other people at risk. Cars are much more dangerous.
Nope. Billions of miles done every week on the roads, 3 feet apart from road, doing 80 miles an hour, totally passive. So anyway, moving on.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
That's not true. It's not a passive endeavor, is my point. Someone is inherently at risk when you are driving on a freeway. That's why there are far more car fatalities. No one is at risk for a firearm resting on my hip. No one else is at greater risk, but they are if I'm driving on the road, period. Come on, we both acknowledge that. Let's find that common ground.
Oh. We don't acknowledge that, actually. Okay. Statistically, owning a gun makes you 60% more likely to get shot or shoot somebody near you. That's how it is. So moving on. So
well, what are the chances of hurting someone if you drive a vehicle or getting into a vehicle crash?
I've been driving for 40 years, and I haven't hit anybody.
But will we acknowledge that probably higher than 60% driving? The chances of hurting somebody? Okay.
Not even close. If you compare miles to...
I'm against the registry, but here's my point. You don't get to say common sense. But here's the point. Here's why it matters. Here's why it matters real quick, and then I'll let you finish. This is very important. This is very important, Chris, if we want to find common ground. Genuinely, okay? Mm-hmm. When you say, I don't want to be yelling, I don't want to be a part of this, okay? But
part of the rest of the idiots that yell back and forth like we've been doing.
When you say that,
right,
respectfully, there is no way to have a dialogue when you say everyone should support these common sense measures, and if people don't, okay, well, if you say common sense, that implies, well, let me say, it implies that someone else doesn't have any common sense if they oppose it. When you call someone a pussy, when you come on laughing, when you say someone's running and ducking, whereas you know as well as I that there are scheduling issues, when you say you're going to make someone cry, the point is, if you want to have a discussion, these aren't steps